Ah, there we go. Thank you.
It's because I'm standing. Yeah, this is it.
So, why don't you first off introduce your team?
Sure. Well, I'm Audrey. I'm the director. And this is Samora, our badass bad guy. This is Alyssa. She's obviously from me. This is Chris Gamble, our writer. He flew all the way from Yellowknife tonight. And we've got Aaron, which, you know, Aaron. And Bart. And Mr. Robert Golick.
So, tell us a bit about the journey of Berkshire County, how it came about, and what got you to where you are right now with it.
Okay. Well, it's been a long haul trying to get this film made. Essentially, after rejection for financing, Chris and I kind of made the decision that we were going to fund it ourselves. And so we put it on our line of credit and prayed and prayed that we will eventually be able to make our money back on this film. But, you know, I think would you do it again?
Hopefully we don't have to.
Yeah, and it's not, there's something crazy about putting it onto your line of credit where you just get kind of tunnel vision and kind of crazy to make sure that you can pull off the best film you can because you have to make your money back. And so I don't know if you want to talk to that at all, but what I could say is that we have Canadian distribution right now. We picked up A71 Entertainment, who are back there. A71 Entertainment. And we just picked up international distribution with Raven Banner as well. Yep. And I'm now allowed to say that they made a really nice sale for the US, yeah. So, yeah, it's looking good that we might actually make our money back.
Wow.
Yay!
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, that's what's really great about seeing success stories. Because it's not just about having at play at the festival like that. You want to see the whole line go down the line of that fruition kind of thing. So.
Yeah, and actually, I just wanted to, we were really nervous to release the film out into the world, and our world premiere was in Los Angeles at Shriekfest, and we all flew down there, and really nervous because there's such great films playing, and we actually won the grand jury prize for the best horror feature there. Thank you. And that was the start of this crazy month, because we just started it a month ago, really, with the world release in world premiere in October. And then we've won 3 festivals best feature, and then Alyssa won best actress, best actress award, and I won best director in Phoenix. And I think and then tonight we're playing in Sydney as well as here. Or is it tonight? Or was it yesterday? So we've had a really good festival run, and then we just picked up distribution for Canada and international, and so it's a good run so far. We're really excited.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Let's talk to our leading actress here. Talk about your experience working on this film and how does it feel when you're watching yourself on the screen and party scenes and all? And
I've got so many bad jokes right now. I'm just gonna let those go. Well, working on this film was really, really amazing for me. I really was really honored to have such a big role, and especially a strong female role, and I was really excited to play it and to bring it, and the team was just amazing. Yeah, it's been such a great experience, and an odd one too, because we pretty much lived in that house. That house was super creepy, and there were times I had to go out to my car in the middle of the night, and it was like misty, and I'm like, this is how horror movies start. Pardon?
Coyotes.
Oh yeah, those like weird stuff going on at that house, I swear. So put you in the right mood, at least.
And
That was
you
the
want
rest
to
of
talk
it.
about how or you can talk about how I auditioned 200 girls.
Oh.
Might as
How about you
well.
talk about
We'll
that? I'm pretty awesome because they auditioned 200 girls. And I'll let you talk about that one. Okay, how you talked about it, okay.
And for yourself as a villain, I guess you hear mostly your voice, kind of thing like that, and then it was such a neat twist of I started the first time I saw it, I wasn't expecting it because she was this calming voice through the whole thing, and then turning into this villainous character. Was the auditioning for it? I imagine you were auditioning just as much for their look and presence as well as their voice too, because you kind of almost.
That was one of the things I said to you was, well, first of all, when Samora auditioned, she scared the shit out of our reader. We had a reader sitting on the chair, and she was approaching her and putting these gloves on like she was going to kill her, and my reader was like, holy crap, I'm actually really scared right now. And then your voice, this is one of the things I said to you, is your voice is just really beautiful, this sort of... Do you want to,
big manly voice.
do you want to talk so everyone can hear it?
You've all been really strong. I need you to be stronger. Just a little bit longer.
I want you to be my answering machine message or something.
Actually, what I want to say is that when we held the auditions for the lead bad guy, I was worried that we wouldn't get the right girl for it. And so I brought in a bunch of males as well for the role, just in case, because I really wasn't sure. And then, she came in and I was like, oh my God, she's like our Canadian Michelle Rodriguez. She's amazing, tough ass. And and you actually scared us more than any of the guys, these big guys that came in, and you actually scared us more than any of those guys. So I was like, she's awesome. She's my girl. Thank you. Yeah.
And before I go on, I almost forget to do this. We have a little tradition, Blood in the Snow, that we started last year, is that it's kind of like getting the green jacket for like if you're in the Masters for golf content. We have the bloody pin that we give out to all our filmmakers every year. So like that. So this is
I just bought a shirt, by the way.
Okay. Oh, you earned it then. Let's get any questions from the audience.
No.
So I was just wondering where you shot it and if you were taking advantage of the outside of Ontario. Like, I know if you go to Northern Ontario, you get extra tax credits and first-time producer tax credits.
We actually really lucked out with this location. I was on Craigslist and looking for all kinds of places that we could find locations for, and I guess the owner of the house was renting out this tiny little apartment in the back of that huge mansion. And so when we pulled up to the mansion, I actually was like, oh my God, this is the place? And so we had no idea, but behind the scenes, this guy was actually, the house went into foreclosure while we were in the middle of shooting. And the sheriff came while we were shooting, was gonna change the locks, and this is a whole debacle. But, and Chris had to rewrite the script to get us out of there quick, but anyways, and so when we walked through it, they had all, he had all this eclectic stuff, and this oven brought in from France, and this fridge and everything was like German, but the doors, the windows, everything was imported from like Germany, and so we walked in and we looked around with Bruno and Michael, and we're like, holy crap, this is amazing. And he's like, oh no, the place that you came to look at is in the back. And so we're like, So we went in the back, and it was just this little place, and the place he was renting was the place we shot the party scene at. And so then we kind of were like, look, I want the whole house. Like, what can we do? And I just thought this was lucky fortune that we were able to shoot at this house. But then, of course, right before, he said to us, well, you can use all the furniture and all the stuff, no problem. And when we arrived to start shooting, the house was cleared. Like, the stove was gone, the fridge was gone, there was nothing, everything was gone. So Chris had to rewrite oh, we're moving. We're in the middle of moving, and they're like, get some boxes in here. And so it's all just these like putting out fire after fire. And then the sheriff arrived, and Bruno's like, yeah, they're giving us like a day to get out of this house, and we gotta So it was like a lucky thing, but on the other hand, it kind of was pretty traumatic too. And and to answer your question, it was in northern, just 45 minutes north of Toronto, near Nobleton, Bolton area.
Did that affect your insurance because was it the owner you were dealing with?
Yeah, so we had to put him on our insurance policy.
Okay, so
Yeah.
and then it went through foreclosure and you had to leave.
Yeah. Yes.
This is what I love about this festival. It's a filmmakers festival, so you get very specific filmmaker questions. No, it's great. No, great. I love it actually. It's good. It gives us such a
How long was your shoot?
22 days. Yeah.
And you shot it on the red, it looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Michael did a great job.
Yeah, Michael did
Okay,
it.
Davidson,
We were fortunate enough to have someone on crew who owned the red, and it was just all a great lucky.
Yeah. So, what's it like to play an asshole?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a slime bag in this. It was thanks. Well, I don't know. It was a bit. It was a lot of fun. But it was funny because it was like a bit outside of my comfort zone. And so I remember when I showed up on set, I was like really nervous. The first scene was like the party scene of the show. Yeah, it was So I was like, oh my god, like walking in there, I hope they don't think I'm an asshole, and like.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Alyssa. Like, so it was fun. It was fun to play something different, and it was exciting, and Audrey was very encouraging. She's like, just go further. I remember one of the first things she said to me was like, the more you just don't give a shit, I think the better it'll go for you. So I just try to stick with that. So yeah, so it was good. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Any questions?
Oh, come on.
Sure. It said it was based on true events. What were the events?
Why don't you address that one?
Okay, part of it was involved my first babysitting experience ever. It's funny because today my mom is actually in the audience, so she may remember this. The opening part of it, basically, first time I was babysitting, home alone, my glasses had broken like a few hours before. At the time, I got laser eye surgery. I was like completely blind. And someone started sort of knocking at the door and running away, knocking at the door, running away. I got really freaked out, called my brother who was sleeping over at someone's place. He's like, whoa, that's weird. He just leaves the phone off the hook. I'm like, what the crap? So suddenly people start knocking at the back window, and I just got really freaked out, couldn't see what was going on. And it turns out my brother had kind of run over, and it was these girls who were like trying to prank him, but of course he wasn't home, so I was just basically getting pranked. But I'm 12, had no glasses, first time babysitting, was totally freaked out. So that's like the first, when the first home invasion happens, it goes back to that. There's other elements too. There's a little bit of a Charles Manson element to it, but that would be the main thing that inspired me.
Do you guys have any such stories that about your experience working on the film?
Mark, talk about breaking everything.
Yeah, all those expensive doors and things. Yeah, I broke most of them. Yeah, the front door actually I think was the big grand finale for me. But no, actually, the film was phenomenal, and Audrey was amazing. Everyone involved was just an amazing cast. I'd mainly done comedy before this, so it was kind of cool to be stalking around and being mean and try not to mess up the movie for everyone else. But no, I had a great time.
How could you see out of your mask?
Barely. Actually, maybe a little more brooding, I think, because I had to lurch around a little bit more and walk through the doorways and walls, but and break doors and so forth. But, and the masks were very cool, actually.
I was in the movie, but I just wanted to mention, because they're not here tonight, and they can't see this movie apparently until, the 12 more years, until they're 18 or something. So Madison and our two child actors. I I've worked with Madison on another movie. Her dad was here. I don't know if she's still here tonight. Oh, he's still there. Great. Okay, great. So, yeah. And so I thought they were wonderful to work with kids. It's I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'll get back.
Actually, since the parents are here, I have a Madison story, kind of that, because I did a little cameo on her show actually this summer. I was there was a science show, and she was wearing a bee outfit, and that was the first time. And then I did this little thing for one day on there, and then I saw the screener for Berkshire. I was like, is that her? The Stanley Dynamic, right? Yeah, this is going to be on YTV this January. This girl is going to be huge. She was just like amazing. She was amazing to work with. One little story about it. She knew her lines so good that there was one time where one of the actors, the older actors, couldn't remember their line, and she cued her line. Not only did she know her own line, I was on set for 7 hours with her, and I think maybe missed one line, and that was it of the entire day, and she knew everyone else's line, so she was quite amazing. So, yeah, she's in Twisted Pieces as well with Robert, and she's going to go far.
She is. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's not 18 tonight to be here.
Okay. Yeah, we have to have it. The rules for the ratings board, we have to have it 18 plus for the kind of festival we have. So otherwise, we would have her here, but it's just the way it goes. You know?
I have a question for Audrey. Congrats, first of all.
Oh, thank
awesome.
you.
And to everybody.
Thanks.
So directing adults is obviously slightly easier, but speaking of Madison and the kids, how easy or hard, probably hard, was to direct the kids? First of all, the piglet, I think it's Leo, who had to stab Elisa. How did you tell him, listen, you're going to go there and stab her? How did you explain that to an 11-year-old child?
Yeah, well, so the first part of your question is, was it difficult? Working with the kids one-on-one when we were actually shooting was amazing. They were always, I mean, sometimes I felt bad because we were running late and we'd have to kind of wake them up from sleeping, and you just kind of feel really bad. And then they've got school the next day, and you feel really bad. But they are so excited to be there, and they're so happy. They know their lines and they're ready to go, and totally like little professionals. So that part was really great. The part I found difficult was because you're working with such shorter hours with kids, and it being a horror thriller, we're shooting a lot throughout the night, and so we ended up just kind of having really small windows to be able to shoot with the kids before we were like, look, we got to let them go because they got to go to school tomorrow, and so that was the difficult part and actually we kind of, in an effort to try to make sure that we weren't sort of overworking them, and that they were going to be okay, we kind of started maybe trimming a little bit of the kids' part, because we were on such a tight shooting schedule and all that kind of stuff. But it was amazing, but it was tough in that sense because you don't have the same leeway as you do with adults. Yeah, and then the second part was, how did I, so when you got a stab? Well, Leo was like, he was right into it. I didn't have to say anything. Leo was amazing. He was like, just, let's go. Yeah, where's his dad? His dad's here tonight. Okay. Yeah, he was awesome. And the kids were all great, and they all kind of knew, like, I know I'm not supposed to tell the story. But they were just really cool. They were just like, I didn't have to, go too far behind, like I was kind of like, just pretend you're in the cages, just pretend you're like a little chicken. That kind of stuff, but they knew, like they totally knew.
As well, I mean, I think Audrey gets a really good, healthy energy on set. Like, it's a really collaborative, positive effort. So, I mean, as soon as the kids went off, they were like hanging out with Barge or hanging out with Alyssa. Like, they're just having a great time. So I think that helps as well. Like, even though it was a horror, as soon as the cameras were off, it was a very positive energy, which I think helped a lot.
Did the kids know they were in a horror?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah, just wondering.
She gets asked that all the time, actually. Like, she just really had that.
Yeah, one of the scenes where she's under the thing and she's crying, when we were watching the take, I was actually, I was crying. I was like, oh my
When
god,
they were
this
hiding
child.
in the basement.
Yeah.
Her face was so perfect.
Yeah, I was crying during that. She nailed it. Yeah, they were amazing. They're little professionals. But they knew they were in a horror film.
None of the kids are here, so if you guys could all start talking about us, that'd be awesome.
Lauren, you're amazing. Did everyone like when she licked Alyssa's face?
Was that our own creation?
Yeah,
That
that
was
was,
our own
yeah, that was
creation,
really
yeah.
cool.
Wouldn't it be cool if we did this?
Yeah, that's creepy, yeah.
But any last questions?
I love you, Bart.
Yeah.
Wondering about the animation of the masks, if you like created them or did you?
Is Carlos here or is he coming to the later screening? Carlos?
I think he's getting the later screen. Yeah, the butcher shop. You want to talk about the butcher shop a
Butcher
bit?
shop, yeah. Yeah, Carlos works, he runs the butcher shop, which did our
a
mask.
makeup place, not an actual.
Yes, I ordered the filet. And yeah, and we just went in and kind of I explained what I wanted, and he kind of drew some sketches and stuff, and we went back and forth on what the look and the feel that I wanted for each pig. And I think he actually went to a butcher and got a real pig head for Samora's mask, and shaped Samora's mask off an actual dead pig head. And then Bart's mask, he worked with this guy who's really good, what's that fabric called? Burlap, yeah, who's really good with burlap. Yeah, to create that. So, yeah, he nailed it. Like, when he came to set with the masks, we were all like, oh, wow. Yeah.
So, quick little story about the mask.
Oh,
yeah. The night we make the mask, 10 o'clock at night, I'm in a car headed to the butcher shop. I get there, Carlos comes out in a smock filled and covered in blood. He's like, come with me. I'm Carlos, it's really nice to meet you. Let's go down these skinny little stairs in Hamilton, down this dark little basement. Down into this dark little basement.
Cellar, like a
Sit here
basement. Yeah.
while I paint this fake pig mask on you. Here's a notepad in case you have something to say while you're in there. 2 straws up your nostrils to breathe while I do it. Not scary at all.
Oh yeah, that was for the prosthetic, for the end when Alyssa stabs you. Yeah.
Just to give some context, I've been to the butcher shop for covering for Fangoria, and it's in the bottom of a lighting store. And you go in there, and it's so creepy because we had another filmmaker dress up from Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a full mask, and there's some photos of this the studio is absolutely incredible. I like that. It was, imagine how I knew exactly what you're thinking when you said when you walked down there, because you would never expect it.
Yeah,
Hello.
I felt uncomfortable too when I went. What? Are you actually using dead bodies?
This is the beginning of a horror movie. I had that moment so many times.
Okay, well, I think we need to wrap it up now, but you guys will be at the pub later on tonight. Yeah, so the Marquita Granby around the corner, and we'll be and people sticking around. We're at the shorts program at 9:30. There's maybe 1 or 2 tickets left if you want to get in. And then we'll see you guys later tonight at the party. And don't forget to stop by the vendors on the way out and say hi to them, and we'll hope to see you again throughout the festival.